Welcome to the Style Sports Hub, presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Sports Hub podcast presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics. I'm your host, Kyle Coppola. Thanks for joining us here today. I want to thank our partners that make it all happen: Lake Center Home Care, Lake Sumter State College, United Southern Bank, and our podcast available on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and more. So check us out and subscribe. It really helps us out, guys. Want to welcome our guests here today to the Sports Hub podcast. We're talking with Nikki Sauerbery, as she's a teacher here at Tavares High School. We also have Rylei Lafond on with us, along with Rylei Lashinske, and we'll have her on later in the program. But I wanted to welcome you both to the Sports Hub podcast, and thank you guys for coming on.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, really looking forward to talking about your program because not only are you have you coached at Tavares, you're also a teacher at Tavares. Nikki, can you tell us a little bit about your background and sort of what brought you to Tavares and what you got going on?
So what brought me to Tavares was actually coaching softball. I was a 911 dispatcher, and I started coaching high school softball. I was a player most of my life, and I really wanted to coach. So I started coaching softball, and the principal at the time, Miss June Dalton, thank you very much. She's retired now. But she said, "You're an amazing coach. I think you need to be a teacher." And I'm like, "I don't know." And she's like, "No, I think you would make a great teacher." And she hired me actually as a PE teacher at the time. So I spent 4 years as a PE teacher. Realized that wasn't really my thing because I had a business degree. I went to the elementary school, Tavares Elementary, for 1 year and taught kindergarten and fifth grade just to kind of broaden my horizons. And that kind of just led me back to, I want to teach business. I want to teach kids skills that they can use in the real world. I came back as the diversified career technology teacher, did that for about 4 years. And then I found out from a friend that there was a program called Promotional Enterprise in another county. So I spent 3 years trying to bring it into Lake County, doing the research, going out and talking to the businesses, finding out there was a need for those jobs. And we launched it 4 years ago. And Rylei was actually one of my first graduates from the program and went straight to work in the industry at Sunday Cool.
That's awesome.
It's just been a great experience.
So you bring this promotional enterprise class in. Can you talk a little bit about the class and sort of what the students learn and do and sort of excel in their careers? Because once they come out of high school, they can go right into careers.
Yes, absolutely. It is a 4-year program. They can start right as a freshman. Our first level is custom design and layout. So they learn a little bit of Photoshop, Illustrator, basic operations of our equipment. We have heat presses, we have vinyl plotters, engraving, laser engraving, embroidery.
Wow.
Direct to film. So basically, I went out and researched the industry, and we have the same exact equipment that the industry uses just so that my students could be prepared.
So the first student to come through the program was actually Rylei. So Rylei, you came through the program, the Promotional Enterprises program. What was that like going into the program, and what did you learn from when you first started and then once you graduated?
It was definitely an experience, I'll say. It was nerve-wracking. Trying to learn new things. But once I got the hang of it, then it became fun. It became a hobby. It wasn't so much of me going to school. It was, I'm going to go enjoy this day, you know? It's definitely helped me a lot with going to work. I don't see work as actual work. I see it as me going and enjoying my time, doing what I love. And that mostly
that's
helps
so important,
a lot.
right?
Yes.
To enjoy what you do because you enjoy what you do, and it's so important to have students graduate and go into something that they want to do.
Yes.
Of course, it takes some time to figure out eventually what you want to do, but you were able to graduate and you're working for Sunday Cool. So how is that?
It's actually been great. It's been very amazing. They're a great company. It's a Christian-based company. They do prints on T-shirts, hats. We do beanies, stickers, cups, cup holders, you name it. It's definitely been fun.
What was your favorite project that either you got to do together, or what is your favorite project?
I think it was the mugs. I think it was definitely the mugs. I had to do how many?
I think we did almost 200 coffee mugs.
Wow. Yes, and it was a week. They gave us a week, and I was able to heat press them.
Yeah.
I got it done.
You got it done. Talk about this girl and what she meant to the program, because she's one of the first ones to come through it. Had a really good experience, I would say, and that has rubbed off on a lot of students that have wanted to come and try the program out, because you've grown exponentially.
Oh yeah, she's phenomenal. Like, she would come in every day and say what needs to be done, and if she didn't know how to do it, she would say, "Can you show me how to do it?" And we would just go from there. I mean, she was kind of like an open book. Like, whatever I needed done, she would come in and do it. Whether it was weeding vinyl, learning how to use the printer, cleaning the printer, using the heat press. I honestly was hesitant when we got that 200 mug order, because it was quick turnaround time. They needed it in like a week and a half, and they said 200, and I'm just like, how are we ever going to get this done? She was a workhorse for me. I mean, she came in during some of our other classes. The teachers were really willing to kind of help us out when all her work was done, and I don't know, she just banged it out, because I still had to teach at the same time with my other students. So I mean, she was in there a lot, banging it out, and just even her group of students that were with her, like they were my first group to go through. Actually, they did the incubator program and the promotional enterprise program at kind of one year, and then back to promotional enterprise the next year. So it was a learning experience for all of us, just learning like what we could handle, what we could do. I didn't know embroidery when I started the program, so I had to go. Actually, I went to Sunday Cool, and they worked with me and taught me how to use the embroidery machine, so that I was able to go back and do that with my students. What
was the biggest thing you learned about yourself doing the program?
Definitely trying to find patience. You have to have a lot of patience within using those machines. It's
just kind of like softball, right? You got to be patient on the pitch and wait and everything like that. But the machines are quite unique. I was able to get in there last year and look at some of the machines and what you all do. Fascinating to see sort of how these machines all operate. And a lot of it, I guess, was self-taught yourself, trying to learn a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of it's trial and error. Like our other Rylei, when you talk to her in a little bit, she'll probably tell you we make mistakes, but as long as we learn from them, I mean, it doesn't bother me. I tell them from the bad, like, you're going to fail. Things are not going to work. We're going to fail. The printer's going to spit ink all over you one day. That's happened to me. You just have to learn how to deal with it. Thankfully, there's YouTube these days, so we can kind of YouTube that it happened to other people, just to see like some of the things we have to watch to see how to fix the machine or the different things to do. We've just learned a lot from trial and error. Go to the Dollar Tree sometimes and say, hey, what can we use to practice on, just, so we're not spending a lot of money on expensive materials. But her group, the other Rylei's group, had to do an order of 200 mouse pads. So we just learned some different things that happen. Like, one of the machines quit pressing evenly, so it was making spots on the mouse pads. So we had to kind of figure out like the trial and error, like what was going wrong, why was it doing that? But I tell them, I'm like, we're gonna fail, but it's not failure. It's learning from our mistakes. As long as we learn from it, it's not a failure.
So what's the difference between the incubator program and then the promotional enterprises? Because there's two aspects of the class. What is the difference between the two?
So promotional enterprises is kind of what I started, and it's kind of like a marketing promotional material. We're learning how to make those coffee mugs, laser engrave those mugs that everybody wants, learning how to do those designs. And then our superintendent actually brought in the incubator program, and I was chosen to pilot it because it kind of fit with the entrepreneurship side of the promotional enterprise program. So it kind of ties together in a way. But incubator is actually where the students are starting their own business from the process of ideation, figuring out like what a problem is that they want to solve, all the way to the end of creating that product and trying to sell it to investors.
That is really cool.
Yes.
So you went through the program.
Yes.
You went through the incubator program. What was your business that you created?
We made a QR dog tag. It was QR code, basically. Let's say you found an animal and you were able to go up to it and scan the code. It would then bring up the animal's information. It would ding the owner and say, hey, look, somebody found your animal. And then they could disclose their information to the person and they can meet up.
That is fascinating.
Yes.
That is a really cool program. And Nikki, there's so many of those that you've done over the past couple of years. Do any of them stick out? Any big sort of incubator sort of businesses stick out above any others?
There's been a lot of interesting ideas. We actually submit to the Incubator National competition every year, and 2 years now I've had a student qualify in like the regional quarterfinals. We haven't actually made it to nationals. That's our goal one day. But we've had anything from glasses with interchangeable lenses, so you could match your frame to any outfit, but only have to buy one pair of lenses. We've had portable perfume packs. We've had the QR code, dog collar. We've had like customizable desks, like if you have your stand-up desk, but it's kind of just only stands up. They were trying to make one that like actually tilted so you could do different things with it. So just watching the students go through the process, like that is one of the most enjoyable classes I teach other than the promotional enterprise program, because you just watch them grow so much. And they actually go to the Tavares chamber to do their MVP pitch, which is their minimum viable product pitch. So they're out there interviewing people, they're taking that product out there and just gaining a lot of skills that they're going to use in the future. But haven't had anyone go big yet, but we're hoping one day.
Hoping one day that happens. And Rylei is a success story. She was able to start working pretty much right out of school, which is really exciting for you. How did that process work? And what's your advice to younger kids as well going through the program?
My advice to younger kids would definitely be stick to yourself, be true to yourself, and you'll figure it out. You'll definitely figure it out.
That's the thing too, is trying to figure it out, right? Is trying to get through life. And I've talked to this about a lot of people on there, because whether you're an athlete, I mean, you were an athlete, whether it works out or it doesn't work out, it's always good to have a backup plan, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's always good to have a backup plan and have that happen. As far as the curriculum goes for your programs and everything like that, what do they do as far as that goes?
So they learn Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator, and we actually get industry certified in that. So they actually take the industry certification, so they can use that to go straight into a job. They learn the basic operations of the machines in like the first level, and then we just kind of go through to advanced operations. They do entrepreneurship, so they're learning like what products, if it's a successful product, we want to keep it. If it's kind of not successful product, like what do we need? Do we need to market it differently? Do we need to scrap it? And we have a school store that we opened this last year, halfway through the year. So it's still kind of growing and we're figuring out the process. But the other Rylei's class will be running that this year. So we'll have a full school store with merchandise and all kinds of things. And I actually purchased a mobile cart this summer. So we'll be at a lot of the sporting events, selling merchandise, hopefully being able to offer people custom merchandise.
That's great for
at the games.
That's awesome, because whether you're at a football game, basketball, or anything like that, Tavares gets some great turnout. The whole crowd, the town turns out for football games. They're supposed to be pretty good this year. That's really exciting that you're adding that store to Tavares, because that's an exciting thing you got going on.
Yeah, and I have a lot of like different needs for students, because we need students who like to design, because not everybody has that creative mindset and likes to design. I have some students that prefer to design on paper still, and then we transfer it to the computer. So I need designers. I need people that are willing to do the laser engraving, the heat pressing. There are some very tedious activities, as Rylei could tell you, like weeding vinyl. You're picking out all those little pieces. That takes a special kind of person to do those kind of things, because that's a lot of patience when you come to like weeding the little tiny pieces out of the vinyl, and just attention to detail, because we want to send out quality products.
As far as attention to detail goes, what's your favorite thing to do as far as Sunday Cool goes?
Definitely heat pressing.
Yeah.
I love heat pressing. Once I get going, I got a groove, and there's no stopping me, As of right now, I am in fulfillment. I am forwarding shirts. I'm supplying people orders and everything. You can go onto the swag store online, buy something, and then I would be the one fulfilling it. I work between both of the departments, mostly fulfillment.
Nice. Oh, do you ever miss playing softball too?
Yes, absolutely. I actually sprained my ankle, and so that's what caused me to stop playing.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a downfall, and I would say that Nikki definitely helped me through that time.
Yeah.
The class and everything, just her being there definitely helped.
Yeah, she talks about the relationship that you guys have too, the relationships you build with your students, and they don't just stop when they graduate. They continue, and obviously we see that, Nikki.
Oh yeah, a lot of them still communicate with me. I've been to a couple weddings. Makes me feel a little old when they have kids one day, but because this is my 13th year teaching, so I am starting to get to that point where I'm starting to see some of them like be really successful in different things. I have another student that just graduated in May that's going to college in Miami University in Ohio. And she went and toured the college and found out there was a maker space there that has heat presses and laser engraving. And she kind of inquired about it, and they're going to hire her right on the spot to work at the college just because she has the experience from the classroom. So not only can they go in the industry, they can take it with them to college.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you both for coming on the program. We're actually going to have Nikki stay. Rylei, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's been great to get to know you and a little bit more about what you get going on at Sunday Cool. That's a great program over there, and we're really looking forward to what you're going to do in the future as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to take a short break here on the Sports Hub. When we come back, we're going to be talking to Rylei Lashinske, who is a soccer player at Tavares High School.
Is pain or restricted range of motion keeping you on the sidelines? Get back in the game with expert orthopedic care from UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics. UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics provides robotic-assisted surgical joint repairs and replacements, post-operative care, and inpatient rehabilitation services, all close to home, right here in Lake and Sumter counties. And for those unexpected injuries, UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics offers convenient walk-in and same-day appointments. To learn more or to schedule an appointment with one of their specialists, call 352-323-5665.
Hey everybody, we are back here on the Sports Hub podcast presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics. I'm Kyle Coppola. Thanks for joining us today. We're talking to Nikki Sauerbery, along with a soccer player here with Rylei Lashinske, who's here. You're going to be a senior this year, so really looking forward to what you got going on. Thank you for coming on to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Well, Rylei, you are not only a soccer program, you play in the soccer program at Tavares High School, but you're also involved with the promotional enterprise class as well as the incubator class that Tavares has going on. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I only do promotional enterprises. I never joined incubator just because I had other classes that I really needed to take just to get my credits up.
Yeah.
Promotional enterprises is very fun. I've been in her program since freshman year, and I think third level now, because I think I took DIT freshman year instead of
First level.
Is it the first
Yeah,
level? Yeah, so I'll be in the fourth level. But it's really fun. Actually, I think I have like 4 certifications from it now. I took our last one, and I passed with like a 670 something or 80. I don't remember what it was, but I did pass.
So you
first
passed.
time.
That's what's important.
We're good.
Yeah.
I did indeed pass. It's very hands-on, and I like that. Like, I'm a very visual person, so when she teaches us, I'm literally like, I'm all up on there, like trying to see, just so I know what to do. And like me and my friend Jason, he graduated this year. Me and him always like did the heat press, along with one of my other friends, Abby. She'll be a senior with me this year. We were always in heat press and stuff, and it's very hands-on, like I said. But as she said, the mouse pad incidents, oh my gosh, it was so bad, because we got like fully done with it and that's when we noticed. We had to do almost all of them like all over again. It was terrible. Yes, that was an incident, but we got them done, so that's all that matters.
Yeah. That's awesome. She mentions the fact that others have graduated, come through the program. She's learned a lot in her time here. She's going to be one of the seniors and one of the leaders of the program next year. Talk about her and what she's meant to the program.
She's been another fabulous person to have in class. She's very outgoing. The certification she was just talking about was the entrepreneurship and small business. So we not only do Photoshop and Illustrator, but in the third level, which is kind of more entrepreneurship based, they do that entrepreneurship and small business. And she's been great, like jumping in again, like just doing whatever's needed and no fear using the machines. Because some people are really hesitant when they start. They're like, am I going to get burned by this? I actually took a lot of those precautions and took some of that fear hopefully away from them by spending a little bit more money on safety. So Our heat presses are all pull out versus like the clamshell, so that it is safe for any student to use. We have inclusion students in our class as well, so it's really for anyone that wants to do it. But she's just been great. She does a little bit more of the designing side too.
Yeah.
They jump in and design some things, and I kind of let them design what they're passionate about. So she's passionate about soccer, so I kind of let her do a lot more of like the soccer designs or different things that she's interested in, because I find that it comes out better if, if they have that passion for it.
So you're coming off of a 1-14 season at Tavares, kind of a tough season last year, but you scored 3 goals last year. You came in with a couple of assists last year. I believe you play forward as well. So I guess, can you talk about sort of what you've been through at Tavares and sort of what we can hopefully expect in 2024?
Well, it's just been really hard because we've had a new coach every single year. So trying to get everybody to like understand that it's really hard to learn with new people. And then all the new people coming in who have like never played or just want to play for fun or just don't really have like the passion for this sport. It's just a lot. So I'm hoping next year our coach from this year is hopefully going to come back, so that we'll at least have a little bit of consistency.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping with the new principal that we can kind of get like, I don't know, more to the program, I'm hoping. Just because we don't really get, like, last year we did fundraising and stuff, but we just don't have as big of an audience as, like, football and all of them. So it's really hard. But we finally did get new jerseys last year. Yeah. So thank God.
They showed up at one point at a game last year, and they had like 4 different types of jerseys.
Yeah,
so.
it was really bad.
Yeah.
Because for some reason we had a bunch of people this year, but we didn't have enough for JV team.
Yeah.
So we just had a whole bunch of subs, and we just didn't have enough jerseys. So they wore like those jerseys that you've seen, like the polka dot ones or whatever. Those were from a couple years ago. We just used them as practice jerseys for now until we finally got ours back. Or like there's some times where like we'd have to switch jerseys on the field. Like you were coming off, you're putting my jersey on, which was kind of gross because, all sweaty. So I'm just glad that now we all have our own jerseys and like everything.
And that's important too, because we want to build women's sports up. We talk about women's sports a lot in Lake and Sumter County, and we've seen women's sports grow in this area. I mean, obviously Tavares used to softball winning the championship this year, and you get a lot of things going on with women's sports. But it's so important because football is one thing, boys basketball, baseball, and everything like that. But it's also important for these young ladies to also have the same opportunity, play on the same playing field as all these other kids. Can you talk about the importance of that?
Oh, it's definitely important because, it's equal opportunity. Like women's sports has come a long way. I actually, being a softball player at heart, the Women's College World Series was on ESPN, and it was knocking out all the other stuff. And they had, 12,000 people in the stands. I think I want to say 2 million viewers. Yeah. I want that for every women's sport, just for it to grow like that. And that's another thing that I'm planning on our program taking on this year with Promotional Enterprise is we're looking at maybe doing a podcast, some more social media, just for all of the sports at our school, just to get them all recognized. And not only sports, but students that are doing great things on campus, or maybe they're doing something that a sport we don't have. I actually found out last year we had a baton twirler student that was doing amazing things, and I'm like, we need to find those students and just get those things out there, because every student gets that time in the spotlight, and it helps everyone be successful.
And every student needs opportunities. You're one that has earned your opportunity. You started on the JV squad with the soccer team, and then your freshman year, you get promoted to the varsity squad, and you've been there the last couple of years. Can you talk about sort of your career and sort of what hard work means to you?
There's a lot of hard work that's put into it, and being a club player as well, my dad coaches, I've just always had to work a little bit harder than everyone else just to show that I can do it, especially because I'm one of the shorter ones on the team. So it's really hard going against all the super tall defenders that we have in the county. So just trying as hard as I can to get faster, get touches, just get everything in.
you're an underdog story. You make things happen, but you're potentially going to be the captain this year for Tavares High School, and we're looking forward to great things. Hopefully, this upcoming season. Back to the incubator program, though. One more time. She of course not in the incubator program, but I find that really fascinating. You're actually going to go and talk at the National Incubator Conference, I believe.
Yes, I'm actually doing the boot camp for new teachers, so kind of like showing them the ropes and speaking about like my experiences to them and kind of like what worked well, what didn't work well. Because this is my fourth year, going to be my fourth year teaching it, and it's such a rewarding program to teach. But giving those students like that ability to gain those business skills, and like I tell all my students, the sky's the limit. Like if you want to do it, let's make it happen. Because I mean, anything is possible. The conversation like Rylei was just having a little bit ago about college, like don't let anything stop you. There's a college out there for you. So just keep chasing your dreams.
And whether you go to college or go to work straight out of school, we talked to Rylei Lashinske, who was on just before you, and Rylei was able to get a job right out of school, and I think that's fantastic. That's got to mean a lot looking at things and seeing the success that people are able to have right out of school. Because Tavares, it's not like a technical school or anything like that, but to have a program like this at a public school, I think is a really good opportunity. What do you think about that?
It really is. Yeah, I know. Rylei, of course. I watch her like go in. She's always like updating her stories about how she's like, oh, I love fulfillment, and how I've just watched her like finally get back up and go from being just heat press to now being head of her department. Very proud of her. She was actually one of the like very first upperclassmen that I became friends with freshman year. So she's been there.
As far as Tavares High School go, what's the future look like for the program?
I hope it keeps growing. We are partnered with Sunday Cool, so we go on field trips there. They're willing to take my students in as paid interns as they graduate.
Oh, that's great.
We have the school store that will hopefully be fully functioning this year, because we were kind of only open during lunches last year because it was a learning process. But we're hoping to be open before school, after school, do online sales. We got our cart now, so hopefully we'll get to some sporting events. And I just want to see it keep growing. I would honestly love to teach it all day long, because right now I only have it 4 periods out of the day. But the incoming freshman class, I was told there was 40 kids supposed to be joining in the program. So I'm really excited.
What's the biggest thing you've learned about yourself, be it on the soccer field or be it in the classroom? What's the biggest thing that you've learned personally?
Definitely, like how Rylei said, just be patient, because there are times where things are not going to go your way and you're just going to have to calm down and be like, okay, just redo it. Like, it's fine. Because that happens in the classroom and even on the soccer field. Like, you mess up a touch and it's just like, okay, be patient with yourself. You'll get it back, or just go right back after it. So it's just, just be patient, learn.
Life's about patience, exactly. I mean, it took you, 13 years to get to this point, to get to the promotional enterprise class to where it's at, and you're making good things happen. And I think that that's so important for these kids to have these type of skill sets to develop that. And it's just really exciting for the future. As far as your future goes, what are you most looking forward to as you head into your senior year?
Definitely looking forward to the program, because I know this year is going to be a lot more hands-on. Because last year we were kind of just doing orders like here and there, as well as like learning our new curriculum so we could pass the test. But I know now that I have all those certifications, we don't have to deal with that, and we can be super hands-on and learn more, do more maybe. And soccer, of course. I'm so ready for the season.
Yeah, we're ready for the season to start for you. Football, soccer, all that good stuff coming up. She mentioned the certifications too. I really want to touch on that real quick. As far as getting certified, what can they get certified in?
So Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop, and then entrepreneurship and small business are the 3 that we offer currently in the program. There are others that I could explore, but I don't want to kind of overwhelm them. And then we are getting busier in like our orders and stuff. So it's kind of like finding that balance of, when we can do all those things and still fulfill all of our orders. So
that's a very exciting season coming up, not only for you for soccer, but as well as in the classroom. And Nikki, coming up, it's going to be here before we know it. So it's coming. I want to thank you both for coming on to the program. We're going to take another short break here on the Sports Hub. We'll come back and wrap up next.
Are you ready for your future to take flight? Whether you're graduating high school or looking to level up, Lake Sumter State College offers affordable degrees and certificates that will punch your ticket to success in a rewarding career. Plus, with programs like Direct Connect to UCF, your opportunities with LSSC are endless. So, what are you waiting for? Join us in Leesburg, Claremont, Sumterville, Four Corners, or online. Learn more at lssc.edu.
Welcome back to the Sports Hub podcast. I want to thank Tavares for coming on today and talking a little bit to us. Nikki, thank you so much for coming on to the program, talking about your promotional enterprise class and incubator program.
Oh, thank you so much for having us. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I want to also thank Rylei for coming on, and our other Rylei Lashinske, who's also off the screen right now. Rylei, best of luck to your 2024 season. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. Thank you for both coming on and everybody for coming on. We'll wrap up the sports program now. I want to thank UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics, as well as our partners Lake Center Home Care, Lake Sumter State College, and United Southern Bank. Our podcast available on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and more. So make sure to check us out and subscribe. It helps us out. Thank you guys for watching the Sports Hub. We'll see you next week.
This has been the Style Sports Hub, presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics.